What we have to confront is a deep, systemic, and structural restructuring of our world. And this will take some time. And the world will look differently after we have gone through this transition process.
That is a Mr. Klaus Schwab. He's the head of the World Economic Forum, born in Germany in 1938, not to get into that. If you were to see an interview with Klaus Schwab in his home office, you will notice a bust of some kind behind him on the bookshelf. That's a bust of Vladimir Lenin. Klaus Schwab and his World Economic Forum are famous for this statement. This is their view of the restructuring. You will own nothing and you will be happy. They want you to be just a mindless drone, living in a pod, eating what you're told, going where you're told, doing what you're told, owning nothing except for what they give you. And that's the restructuring that will make the world a better place. And it is so important you understand how these people see themselves. I talk often about what the Western leaders have in common. I always say there are three things they have in common. One, no love of country. Two, no connection to the real world and how normal people live. And three, how they see themselves. They see themselves as kings and queens. You are simply you're a peasant. You shouldn't have all these freedoms. The peasants shouldn't have freedoms. The king should determine it. But honestly, I have probably shortchanged them when I say kings and queens. Maybe I need to start altering how I talk. They don't really just see themselves as kings and queens. They see themselves as gods.
Within, say, 200 years, to give a conservative estimate, there won't be Homo sapiens on planet Earth. It's not that we'll destroy ourselves in some calamity. Much more likely, we will use advanced technology, biotechnology, nanotechnology, direct brain-computer interfaces to upgrade Homo sapiens into different kinds of beings which are different from us, much more than we are different from Neanderthals. Beings which will have different bodies, different minds, different brains. So I think we are heading towards the upgrading of Homo sapiens into gods. The future of life belongs to intelligent design, but the designers, the intelligent designers, will not be some gods above the clouds. We are going to be the intelligent designers of the future of life in the universe.
Think your neighbor would enjoy watching that video? Oh, he's thinking to himself right now, okay, all right, crazy person, maybe there's something to this, I understand, but let's be honest, this is just pie in the sky stuff. You're not gonna sit there and tell me these people really have a plan to implant something in your brain so they can read your thoughts and control you.
The thing is, we know that you are watching this, and we also know how you feel. Are you angry about what you hear? Are you frightened? Are you bored? This is the kind of power that Stalin didn't have. You know, when Stalin gave a speech, everybody, of course, clapped their hand and smiled. Now, how do you know what they really think about Stalin? It's very difficult. You can't have a KGB agent following everybody all the time. Even if you do it, he's just watching your outside behavior. He doesn't really know what's happening in your mind. But in 10 years, the future Stalins of the 21st century, they could be watching the minds, the brains of all the population all the time. And also they will have the computing power to analyze all that.
But how will they do that? What's their plans? Klaus Schwab lays it out here about the implant in your brain.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
Think your neighbor would be creeped out yet if he watched this? Should be.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, The Forgotten Genocide, the first episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.